Okay, this is the condensing unit, HVAC condensing unit, and it's about 11 years old. Is that correct? These units are engineered on paper to last 20 years. They may last 35. They might last that long. Alright. But Las Vegas is going to give you 14. 14 is about as long as it lasts. And it could last 35, remember? And it could go out tomorrow at 11 years. But at about 14, it's done just about everything we expected it to do. So just, keep in mind, keep in regard its age. This system is also, I was hoping it might be a heat pump. And it's not. Okay. But this system, the medium that they use to move the heat, to transfer the heat from the living space to the exterior, okay, we're using R22 refrigerant. R22 refrigerant. It's no longer manufactured in the United States. It's no longer imported legally into the United States. Do they have stockpiles of it? You bet they do. Is it expensive? Sure is. A whole bunch of expensive. So there's that. Okay. It's an obsolete system. It's an obsolete system. And having this system, it's already old. It's already 11 years old. And having the maintenance on it and repairs on this, the prices for those kinds of things are only going to go up. But the Texas Real Estate Commission doesn't care about that. Is it on? Well, we don't know. It's not warm enough yet to operate it. We'll find out later. Hopefully. Is it performing the function for which it's intended? Was it installed properly? Or is it a safety issue? And we're going to be looking at some installation. It's not supposed to be crooked like that. Okay, it has a scroll compressor, it has oil in it. The compressor scoops the oil up out of its base and takes it to the top. And then the oil goes back down. And that's how it works. When you get it crooked like that, it doesn't scoop the right amount of oil. Hopefully it scoops too much, but it doesn't scoop up the right amount of oil. It's all encased in there. It doesn't run on oil. It doesn't burn oil. It uses oil to lubricate it. It's hermetically sealed. You can't add oil to your compressor. So there's that. Okay, so it's crooked. It doesn't fit on its foundation pad. Okay, it's not supposed to hang off the foundation pad like that. It's too close to the wall. Most manufacturers want their block condensing units to extend about 12 inches away from the wall so that air can circulate. So this whole thing is it takes the air from outside, okay, and brings it across these coils with this fan. And the air outside is going to be colder than the refrigerant, the R22 obsolete refrigerant. It's going to be colder. All right. So what happened, the air is going to be colder than that because it's going to be under pressure, low pressure, suction side. The condensing unit compresses it, makes the refrigerant hot. The air comes in, cools off the refrigerant. We feel it on our hands. Then it's reintroduced into the house on the high pressure side where it's expanded and it cools once again. And that's how you move heat. You don't get fresh air with the air conditioning system. The basic principle of air conditioning. You can add that to the system, but but all you're doing is moving heat from a less desirable place to a more desirable place, and that's what it's supposed to do. And it needs these coils to do that. And these coils are too close to the wall. Can any air get in there so they can be pulled across the coils so that it can take the heat out of your house? You're losing about 25% of your efficiency with this arrangement. About 25% of efficiency with this arrangement. Your electric disconnect, which by the way wasn't required because our breaker box is right over here, but since we have it, it was done right. Nothing wrong with it, except it should be sealed on 3 sides. And then we got a picture, I got a still image in here. Just like I have a still image of the data plate down there. And the data plate tells us things. Should be sealed on 3 sides. This is your low pressure refrigerant piping. It's supposed to be insulated. It is insulated. They even added new insulation, brand new insulation on this. Well, when they put the new insulation on this, they just so happened to put an obsolete insulation. This insulation on the low pressure refrigerant piping is acceptable in the attic, it's acceptable in the house, it's acceptable at the indoor air handler. It's not acceptable out here in the sun. The sun bakes it. That's why they had to replace it, because it all came off. It gets brittle, it cracks, rats chew on it, dogs chew on it, kids chew on it. All kinds of things happen to it. Okay, it's supposed to be a thicker, more robust insulation than what they put here. They put the wrong kind of insulation. We also should have anti-theft Schrader valve caps right here while they're working on it. Now, 2015 is when that was required. 2015 was when this was required. But this was replaced, and it should have been replaced with 2023. Alright, and since they're there, you should have had some anti-theft Schrader valve caps put on there. On this R22 system, we do not have a rain diverter. Maybe that's why they have it so close to the house, huh? You're supposed to have a rain diverter over your condensing unit to keep water from running into it. So what did we learn? We learned that we got the wrong kind of refrigerant piping insulation. We learned that we do not have anti-theft Schrader valve caps. We learned that our disconnect is not sealed on 3 sides. We learned that our condensing unit is not level, or our condensing unit does not fit on the pad, and our condensing unit is too close to the house. And we learned that we do not have a rain diverter. We learned that we have dirty coils. That's what we learned. We also learned that it's R22 system. We also learned that it's 11 years old. So we got some age on this puppy. And servicing it, again, harp. But servicing it's going to cost a little more. Now this is the drain pipe for the evaporator coils inside. See how it comes down here? Now, this is the way we used to do it. And there's nothing wrong with the way this was done. Okay, the only problem, and it's kind of a shame that the cap is kind of boogered up. They can put a new cap on the end of that. In fact, the shame is part of it because it's also bent and restricted right here. Your drain pipe is never supposed to be constricted or restricted. It's supposed to go 100%. If that's restricted, then the opportunity for water to back up into the house exists because of that.